everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ellen and I am the creator behind Sew and Inspire. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. Today I thought I would sit down and just catch you up on everything I've been sewing recently, because I've been doing quite a bit of sewing over the past few months and I have some really lovely makes to share with you. So grab a drink, grab something to work on maybe, and without further waffle, let's get started. I think I'm just going to go in the order that I made them in because that makes the most sense to me. Also, I feel a bit uncomfortable today because I've got my arms out. It is a very rare occasion that I have my arms out, but it has been so hot in the UK. You're probably sick of people saying this, but our houses are not equipped for the heat. So I'm wearing a little knitted tank top today, so if I ever look slightly uncomfortable, it's because I'm not used to seeing my extremely pale arms. First make is one that I am so excited about. I've finally made a quilted jacket and I could not be happier with it. I used a pre-quilted fabric from Higgs & Higgs. They have so many gorgeous pre-quilted fabrics. So if you are wanting to make yourself a quilted jacket, then definitely have a look at the ones Higgs & Higgs have, because they are stunning. I chose this patchwork one, and then on the other side it's really lovely sort of flowers and birds. Which is a nice neutral. I just thought this would be a nice neutral colour that would go with everything, and then I pulled out the sort of beigey colour and just used the quilting cotton to make all the bindings so it would match. This one is actually not for me, it's for mum. If you're new around here, I do sew probably 50-50, maybe 60-40 for my mum and me. So yeah, this one is for her. I sort of finished this right at the end of spring, so she hasn't got that much wear out of it this year, but I know as soon as autumn rolls around and you just need a light layer, this will be perfect. I think it's just such a gorgeous like sort of statement piece to add to an outfit. The pattern which I used for this was from Prima magazine. I always feel like it's so unhelpful when I use Prima magazine patterns because I don't think you can get them unless you get the magazine in the month, but I absolutely love it. I love the fit of it. It sewed up relatively quickly, even considering that I bound all of the edges and seams and everything. I decided to do the sort of patchwork side as the main side that would show, so I added pockets to this side and I did all the seam binding on this side, but because I've bound all the seams, you can obviously also wear it the other way out as well, which is so cool. So depending how you're feeling that day or which one goes with your outfit, you can decide which side you want to wear. I have been wanting to make a quilted jacket for absolutely ages, and I am really jealous of this and cannot wait to make mine. I have got one started which I am making the fabric with like scraps and leftovers and stuff, so it's taking a lot longer than this one, but I'm really hoping to get it done for when it goes a bit colder again, so that we can both have our gorgeous quilted jackets. Next up we have this gorgeous little two-piece set which I made my mum for her birthday. These are the Fran pajamas from Closet for Patterns, which I made in this stunning mauvey purpley pink double gauze fabric, which was heavily inspired by Jenny Stitches. She put together some purple packages of the Fran pajamas, I think in 4 different coloured double gauzes, and as soon as I saw them in the double gauze I was like, I need to make that. Me and my mum both fell in love with them, so I surprised her with them for her birthday. You can obviously get double gauze from many places now, but this specific one is from an online shop called Oh So Crafty, and I would highly recommend. It is the cheapest per meter that I have found, and it's really lovely quality. So I couldn't highly recommend that shop enough, and they have so many colours to choose from. The only downside I will say is that their listing photos are awful, so I have been slightly disappointed on a few occasions with the colour it has actually turned out to be. So that is the only thing I would be wary of, but it's such a lovely double gauze fabric at a really great price. The shirt is a really lovely oversized fit, has a yoke and like a box pleat in the back, which is a really lovely detail, I think. And then I also did the pocket on the front, and it also has a really lovely split hem. I had never made a split hem like this before. It sort of has a little like facing piece. It's so clever, and I just love all like the thick hems on it all. And then it does have sort of these, it's supposed to have these sort of like quite double the length of this cuffs, but the sleeves were a little bit long for my mum, so as I already completely sewed it up, all I did was unpick the top stitching on the cuff, cut it in half and just refolded it, and I think it looks absolutely fine. And it doesn't sort of look out of balance, I don't think. And then the trousers are just a super simple elasticated waist drawstring trousers with this kind of mini paper bag waist at the top, and then it also has a pocket on the back, and then to tie in with everything it has these super deep hems on the bottom as well, which is a really lovely detail. I decided against putting inseam pockets in these because I wasn't sure if she was going to wear them as pyjamas or outerwear, because these can 100% be worn as outerwear pieces, I think. Like, double gauze is just such a breathable, lovely fabric. Why save it to go to sleep in, you know? So for if she was going to wear them as pyjamas, I just thought it'd be a bit bulky. So I decided to leave them out, but I think, if I remember correctly, that is an option to do in the pattern as well, which is amazing because who doesn't love a pocket? The fit on these is absolutely lovely, and I'm not gonna lie, I'd really like a pair. I feel like these would be absolutely gorgeous in a linen maybe, for the summertime. And then these buttons I found in my stash. How perfectly do they match? I was so happy when I found them, because Lord knows I have enough buttons to probably surpass my lifetime. So I try and I really try not to buy buttons unless I absolutely can't find any that work. So yeah, I was super chuffed, and I had the perfect amount as well, which is a bonus. Next up we have something for me. I finally got around to sewing up my zero waist gathered dress by Birgitta Helmerson. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I have made one of these before for my mum, and she absolutely loves and wears that all the time in summer, and I really wanted one, so I made myself one out of this really lovely navy fabric, which has this really lovely sort of almost embroidered on grid pattern, which I think gives such a nice like bit of texture and detail to quite a simple dress and plain colour. I believe I got this fabric from the Stitch Festival maybe a few years ago, and I believe it was from Fabrics Galore. I'm not sure if you can still get it anymore. I absolutely love fabrics that are plain but have a nice little details like that, and it's a really lovely lightweight cotton, perfect for the summer. But because of the colour, this I think will also work really well in sort of autumn winter with tights and boots and stuff. I chose to do the sort of 3/4 length sleeves, and I did quite a thin little button band, and I did the button band going all the way down to the bottom of the skirt. The skirt hits just above my knee, which is my favourite length for dresses. I have established that maxi length dresses look horrific on me. I think I'm just too small for them. Like, they just look like they drown me a bit, and I just don't feel like me in them. So midi length dresses is the way to go for me. And then I picked out these sort of kind of murky clear buttons, which again were in my stash, and I had the perfect amount to go all the way down the dress, and I think they look really, really nice on it. So I'm really, really pleased with this. If you're not familiar with the zero waist dress, and I think there's a blouse as well, I don't actually have the dress pattern. I have the blouse pattern, which I just hacked into a dress because it's so simple. You literally just make a gathered skirt to go on it. But basically this is made out of rectangles, which is so cool. And then there's these like tiny little pieces which make the shape of the V and the shape of the back neck, and it basically enables you to use up as much fabric as possible, so you have zero waste, hence the name, which I feel like is always a bonus, because I don't know about you, but I am swimming in fabric scraps, so it's really nice to not have any fabric scraps once you're finished. I have already got quite a lot of wear out of this. I don't wear dresses very often unless it's really, really hot, and it's been really, really hot here, if I hadn't mentioned. So this has been getting a lot of wear, and I've really, really been enjoying it. Next up is another item for me. You may recognise this one because this one was in my spring sewing plans video, which, can I just say thank you so much for all the love on that video. It really meant a lot. Like, one of my videos hasn't done that well in absolutely ages, so thank you so much, and welcome if you are new here. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful. But I have sewed up my Friday Pattern Company Bateau top in this really gorgeous pink ponteal jersey, which is from Fabric Godmother. I have to say, this didn't turn out how I was expecting it to. It is not as tight fitting as I thought it was going to be, which I guess is my fault that I just picked the wrong size maybe, and I'm not sure that the colour flatters me that much, but I love it nonetheless because it's pink and I love pink, and I still like the fit of the top. It just wasn't what I was expecting. So I think next time I make this I would definitely go down a size or two. But apart from that, I followed the pattern exactly, and I am super happy with it, and it's just such a nice staple, easy to wear piece in my wardrobe. Next up we have possibly one of my most favourite things I've ever made myself, and that is the Juniper dress by Tiana Herring. I am so in love with this. I fell in love with the pattern as soon as I saw it, and I knew I needed to make it, and I wanted to make it in this fabric, and I literally just had enough fabric to make this. We made it work, we squeezed it out, and I could not be happier with it. This fabric I got from Alexandra Palace, I think, the knitting and stitching show. I can't remember who from, but I don't think they sell it anymore, because I did try and get more of this and I couldn't find any, so I don't think you can still get it. But it's such a lovely fabric, it's got such a lovely drape to it, and I think it has worked so well for this pattern. I chose to use a kind of chunky metal zip for the front because I thought that kind of went with the style of the pattern. It has a lovely little collar, and then the bit that I love the most is this elasticated back, and sort of it goes into some of the front. It's just so flattering, and then it has super like oversized boxy sleeves, which in this fabric drape really well. It's a really lovely length as well. It is quite short. I'm not the tallest person. I'm probably about 5'3" or 4, and it's like probably the shortest I would go. But the pattern is super easy to lengthen or shorten to whatever length you like. There's like photos in the pattern of that she's made of it like maxi length, which I think looks really nice too. I definitely see more of these in my future. I feel so good in it, and it was such joy to make, and the pattern was like so well written. I'd 100% recommend. She also has this style in a jumpsuit and play suit, and I am dying to make that as well. I think it's just such a gorgeous design, and this has definitely gone into high rotation in my summer wardrobe. Okay, I've got 2 more things to show you. I told you I had been a little sewing fiend recently, but these honestly barely count because literally they were sort of completely made. All I had to do was sew the waistband and hem them. But I finally finished my leggings, my brown leggings. Now these were in my autumn sewing plans video, and I sewed the majority of them in the autumn, but for some reason I stalled and then on adding the waistband and hemming them. So the other day I was just like, I'm just gonna get these done so I can wear them, and I am so happy with them. They fit so well. Like, they are the best fitting pair of leggings that I own, which is amazing because I really struggle with the fit of leggings. The pattern I used was a free one from Life So Savoury. I'd highly recommend. There is no side seams, there's just the sort of like inseam. And then for the waistband, I didn't actually follow the pattern, so I'm not sure if it is different. But what I did for the waistband was I overlocked the elastic to the top of the waistband, then folded it over and did a twin needle along it, and I think that has given a really lovely finish. I basically just copied a pair of ready to wear ones that I have and sort of tried to do the waistband the same as that. And it was also the first time that I've ever used the Mariflex thread, which is like the stretchy thread. I wanted to use it for leggings because obviously they need to be super stretchy. So yeah, hopefully they hold up well, and I'm super pleased with them. My first attempt at making leggings, and they were a success. Okay, the final garment which I have to share with you is the Flur blouse. I finally made the Flur blouse. This is the Flur blouse by Fabric Godmother in this stunning cotton, which is from The Edit by Narissa, which unfortunately they are no longer in business, so you can't get this fabric anymore, I don't believe. But isn't this stunning? Like, I am so pleased with this. Oh, the sun's just gone in, sorry for the lighting change. It has gorgeous puffy sleeves gathered into a little binding cuff, ties down the front, and then a little peplum on the bottom, and I could not be more pleased with this. I absolutely loved sewing this, and this will definitely not be my last Flur blouse. I am absolutely desperate for one, so I definitely see one of these for me in my future, but this one is for my mum. I would never ever wear a fabric this bold, but my mum absolutely loves a statement piece, and I think this is perfect, and it really suits her as well. So the only thing is, I'm not sure if I use this fabric upside down. Like, I'm not sure whether it's supposed to go that way, but nevertheless I think it looks fine, it works. So oops if it was supposed to go the other way around, but I don't think anyone's gonna tell, and I don't think it looks wrong, so we're going with it. So they are all of the garments which I have been making over the past few months. I hope you enjoyed having a little look into what I've been sewing recently. I just also wanted to mention my English paper piecing, because I have been doing a little bit of English paper piecing again over the last few weeks. So I thought I'd share my sort of where I'm at with it. I have dabbled in English paper piecing over the years and it's never really stuck. I don't really know why, but it's always just been something I keep coming back to, and I've really been enjoying picking it up again. I am just so desperate to make an English paper piecing quilt. Like, how amazing would that be? To just have a quilt that you sewed by hand. Like, that's just amazing to me, and I would absolutely love that one day. So I haven't actually completed many flowers yet, but I have completed this one, which I absolutely love. The floral fabric is from Purple Stitches, and then the pink one I just have in my stash. And I'm using the Ashmed Designs Hexiform instead of paper. I really wanted to try them out and I really like them. I'm not entirely sure what this is going to be, but I have a pack of 60 die cut fabric hexagons and they're all pink. So I've started another one. I'm nearly finished with it. It has little bees on it. How cute is that? And I've used the same pink in the middle, and my kind of thought is to just make pink flowers, and then they might become a quilt, they might become a cushion cover. I'm not entirely sure, because I am using the Hexiform. Getting enough Hexiform for a whole quilt is going to be really expensive, so I'm not sure I'm going to do that. So it might just be like a cushion cover or something. I don't know, but they make them so like nice and squishy and yeah, nice. So yeah, that is my plan for now with these 1-inch Hexiform pieces. I'm going to just pick out pink fabrics as and when I see them from my stash and stuff, and make a little hexy flower, pink hexy flower. And then once I have like a decent amount, I will decide what I do with them. So yeah, that's one sort of English paper piecing project. My other one, I made this flower with 1.5-inch hexagons, I think, because I originally wanted to do this as a quilt, because I'm being funny, but a quilt in 1-inch hexagons is going to take ages, which is fine, but I'm not sure for my first one I want to commit to that. So I thought doing the bigger, I think these are 1.5, let me check. Yeah, they are. It's gonna grow a bit quicker and not be quite such a long-term project, and I wanted to do this completely from stash so that it would just be a quilt filled with fabrics which I've made into other things, so it would be like a memory quilt. I think that would be so lovely. But after making this, I'm not sure if I have sort of enough scraps to make flowers this big. So I mean, that all match. I definitely have enough scraps to make flowers this big, but like that all match. So I think what I'm going to do is just do random, probably have this thrown in there somewhere, and just do single hexagons, random fabrics. There's going to be no colour scheme, no sort of organisation, just random memory quilt. I think that would be stunning. So this fabric, I actually made my cousin a dress when I was like, I think I was like 10 maybe. Me and my nana made it for her. I've no idea if she still has the dress, but I still had the scraps of this fabric, so yeah, this is just a really nice one to look back on, because I will always have that memory of making the dress with my nana. So yeah, had to include this one, but I think from now on it's just gonna expand. Maybe that'd be really nice actually, to have this as the middle and then just expand from there with loads of different random fabrics which I've made things in, because I have so many cotton fat quarters, scraps, little bits which I think deserve to be in a little project like this. So yeah, that is my update on my English paper piecing. I'm kind of just working on it as and when I feel like it. There is absolutely zero deadline on when I'm going to finish these quilts. They will probably still be a thing well into my 20s. But yeah, it's really exciting. I think the end result of it just keeps you motivated, because I just think it's so special having sort of a handmade thing like that. Okay, I think I've done enough talking. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little catch up. Let me know if you did, and I will do more of them. Kind of a new thing for me with sewing. I do them fairly regularly for my knitting, but I thought, why not do them for my sewing as well? So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would love if you give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and join our little crafty family over here. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you very soon in a brand new video. Bye!